pops loose, and Maple Grove's going to have it.
Right out in front, they score!
Welcome to Sports Jam for the week of March 2nd. I'm Jay Wilcox.
I'm Jason Malillo. John Jacobson is hopefully somewhere warmer than here. This week, highlights from section boys swimming and state wrestling, and we'll meet a Hopkins girls basketball star in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
And plus, we'll talk playoff basketball with our 12 sports basketball analyst, Ryan Iversen. And we'll get started with Section 6 4A boys basketball. Armstrong scored an impressive 29-point win over Edina in the quarterfinal round. They hope to follow it up with another win against top seed Eden Prairie Saturday. Sean Burns drives and then kicks it out to Trey Tate for three-pointers. The Falcons grab a slim lead early. Eden Prairie, though, surges ahead. Colton Simmer pops a three from the right side. It's 19-11 Eagles. Late in the first half, Burns hits the turnaround off the glass to beat the buzzer and give Armstrong a 37-36 halftime lead. Second half, and it's into Race Thompson. They aren't buying the flop by the defender. The Falcons lead it by 2. Jerome Dixon gets into the lane, and his floater bounces and drops. It's 59-54 Falcons as they lead much of the way. But David Flom's Eagles rally. Josh Lanassa drives and kicks it out to Ryan Jacobson for a three from the top of the key, and it's 62-60 Eden Prairie. Armstrong answers. They go inside to Burns, and his tough turnaround jumper ties it up at 62 all. But Eden Prairie gets the last word. Blake Cashman gets it inside and scores the winning hoop with under 5 seconds to play. Armstrong falls 64-62.
Well, Hopkins didn't have any trouble with St. Louis Park in their quarterfinal game. That put the Royals into the semis against 7th seed Minneapolis South after the Tigers upset Minnetonka in the quarters. A nice drive and dish from Greg Warshaw. He sets up Vincent Shahid for 2 inside for Hopkins. Nice passing for the Royals to the corner and then inside to John Warren for 2. The ball is saved by Ishmael El-Amin, and he drills a 3 on his way to a 26-point outing. Hopkins holds the lead. Off a scramble, they quickly get it up court, and El-Amin's dunk doesn't fall, but it counts, plus the foul. Hopkins leads 42-31 at the break. Second half, Warren gets free on the inbounds play for 2 of his 28 points as the Royals pull away and win big, 105-75 over South. That puts them into the Section 6 final against Eden Prairie Wednesday night at Cooper High School. You can see a replay of that game Thursday at 11 p.m. on Channel 12 after Channel 45's coverage of state hockey is complete.
In Section 5 4A, Champlain Park is the top seed. The Rebels have spent most of the season ranked number 1 in the state, and they put their 26-0 record on the line in the quarterfinals against Cooper. The Rebels move the ball around to the open player, and they find Marty Hill open on the wing for a 3. Champlain Park goes in front 10-4. Rebels on the attack again. JT Gibson finds Hill, and he makes a nice baseline move to score the layup, and they go up by 19. In transition, it's Hill ahead to Jeremy Johnson for 2 of his game-high 30, and the Rebels stretch their lead. Gibson will miss a jumper short, but Big Theo John is underneath to clean it up and score, helping the Rebels to a 35-point halftime lead. More of the same in the second half. Gibson to Hill, who gets to the hoop, scores, and is fouled. The Rebels rout Cooper 105-48. Also in Section 5, Wayzata at home to take on Park Center. First half, and Gavin Baumgartner scores in the open court. And it's an early 12-2 Trojans lead. Park Center's Lawrence Ogunti steps back here and hits the jumper. He leads his team with 23. The Pirates turn the ball over, and Ryan Lindbergh will bring it all the way back for a Wayzata bucket. The Trojans go up by 8. And they go inside to Austin Slater, and he'll pass it back out to Johnny Benega. He drives and scores as the Trojans' lead grows to 11 points at halftime of this one. Second half, and Baumgartner with a skip pass to Jack Sawada, and he'll dump it into Slater for 2 of his 13 points. Wayzata wins big over Park Center. 79-53 is the final.
Following an 18-win regular season, the Breck boys basketball team earned the top seed in the South subsection of the Section 5AA tournament. The Mustangs met up with Rockford in the 5AA quarterfinals. The Rockets lose track of Will Culleton, and that's not a good idea. He nails the baseline jumper for the Mustangs. Mo Lawal gets the high ball screen and pops a long three from the left wing as the Mustangs jump out to a 12-8 lead early on Rockford. The Rockets hang around a while. Ben Zilmer is a good player for the Rockets. He steps up and buries a three, and they are within 4 points. Lawal drives from the top of the key and fights through the contact to score off the glass. Then Culleton pops out from behind a screen to hit. He scores 20 in the first half, 29 total in the game. Second half now, and Henry Cousineau hits the finger roll as Breck wins 92-68. They'll play Providence Academy on Tuesday night. The state boys swimming and diving meet is this weekend at the University of Minnesota. Several local guys qualified for state out of last week's Section 5 AA meet. 200-yard freestyle, Wayzata's Quinn Lansing touches home first. 200-yard breaststroke, Maple Grove's Brenner Hohenstein breaks his own section record from last year with a winning time of 57:32. Hohenstein also wins the 200 individual medley. Wayzata's Greg Arnold wins the sprint in the 50 setting a new section and pool record. To the diving board, and Nick Benson wins for the Trojans with teammate Mason Zarn second. Wayzata gets 4 divers in the top 8. In the 100 backstroke, Wayzata's Court Hansen's winning time of 51.44 is a new section and pool record. Hansen also wins the 100 butterfly. And in the 100 freestyle, Arnold does it again for Wayzata, breaking the section and pool record. The Trojan senior leads his team to the section title.
I don't have any words to describe how just ecstatic I am for how well we performed today. And given the circumstances of how new this team is, how young they are, how brave they've been, and like how driven they've been to really step it up and give it 100 to really clinch the win in this meet.
And here is a look at the team results. Wayzata is 14 points better than runner-up Roseville. Armstrong is third, Maple Grove sixth, followed by Osseo, Cooper, and Park Center.
Champlain Park also 6th in Section 7AA and Hopkins 7th in 6AA, if you got that straight.
I got that. The state meet is Thursday through Saturday at the U of M Aquatic Center. Still to come on Sports Jam, we go to the mat for state wrestling highlights plus an overtime thriller in boys hockey.
Welcome back. One local hockey team is set for state play this week.
Yeah, the Breck Mustangs had a thriller in their section final. Top-seeded Breck meeting second-seeded Delano in the Section 2A final. It's scoreless late in the second when Tyler Lidstrom's shot sneaks through Delano goalie Tyler Rizzardi, and it is ruled to have crossed the goal line, so it's a 1-0 Breck lead after 2. Same score with just under 4 minutes to play. Brian Hallinan slides it to the trailer. Jeff Linner for the goal. Delano is fired up. Their fans are fired up. It's tied up 1-1. More late fireworks. The pass across to Chase Ellingson. He gets in close to score, and Breck has a 2-1 lead with just 2:34 to play in the game. But Delano is not done. Ben Myers, great move to split the D. Scores a great goal with just 30 seconds left in regulation. It's 2-2, and we go to overtime. After a scoreless first OT, William Blake delivers the game winner on the rush for Breck. The Mustangs win a thrilling game over Delano 3-2 to advance to the Class A state tournament.
We've been playing well lately, our whole team, and just did what we had to do and got pucks on net, and they went in. It was good luck, good bounce.
And the Mustangs will be the number 4 seed in Class A.
That's right. That puts them against St. Cloud Apollo, the number 5 seed in that first game. The quarterfinal, they're the last quarterfinal of that Wednesday night, coming up at 8 o'clock at Excel. Well, Totino Grace was the only area team to make the state wrestling tournament this season. The Eagles finished 4th in Class 2A, but several wrestlers made it to the individual part of the tournament. These are highlights from Class 3A 5th place matches. Brad Ostachuk of Maple Grove facing Seth Elwood of Apple Valley in black. Elwood gets a takedown in the first period as he goes on to win the 5th place match 8-1 over Ostachuk at 132 pounds. Armstrong's Zach Rigg faces Wilmer's Vaughn Johnson at 182. Rigg gets an escape in the third overtime to score the clinching point. He takes 5th place, winning it 3-2. Now it's time for the finals. Totino Grace with 3 guys in the championship matches in Class 2A, starting with Jared Florell facing unbeaten Carter Nielsen of Foley. Laurel gets taken to his back. Nielsen controls the match and goes on to win the state title at 170 pounds, 7-1. Jared's older brother, Isaac Florell, wrestles for the championship at 182, but Jackson Strigo of Orono gets his second period takedown and goes on to win the match 5-2. And at 195 pounds, Grace's Lance Bennick takes the mat as a high school wrestler for the final time, gunning for his 4th straight title. And he takes down Carson Hagan of Worthington here in the first period. And in all, Bennick records 8 takedowns in the match as he wins 17-7 to bring home a 4th state championship.
That's been my goal since the first day I came into Titino Grace, was to be the first 4-time state champion, and it feels great to accomplish your goals. I have so much respect for everybody, Coach Schwiel, Coach Vandermeide, Coach Florell, everybody. They've done everything they can to bring in the best guys in the country to work with me, and all respect to them, and I thank them for everything.
Caps it off with a flip again, too. Congratulations to Lance. Now to girls basketball, where the regular season is now in the books. Maple Grove and Park Center met up in a key game to decide the Northwest Suburban West title. Park Center needing a win to tie Maple Grove for first. It's a pretty good start for the Crimson. Haley Barker sets up Maddie Tharp for a 3 and an early lead. Park Center answers as Camille McCoy gets it to Michaela Hayes, cutting through the lane for 2. Park Center goes on a big run. Fashayo Iobamadeli knocks down a 3 to put the Pirates into the lead. And after an offensive rebound, they get the ball to McKenna Dubois, and she buries a 3. Park Center leads a low-scoring first half, 20-14. Second half, and it's into Hayes for 2 of her 12 points as the Pirates try to get some separation. On the fast break, and Simonette will miss here, but Iobamadeli's there for the putback. Park Center's lead grows to 11 and later 13. Maple Grove chips away, though. Mackenzie Barta scores the layup, part of a 14-point game for her. They pull as close as 3 points, but Danielle Schaub and the Pirates hit enough free throws to win at 45-35, so the teams share the conference title.
We've been waiting for this game ever since we lost to them, so winning this, it feels really good, and we've just been working really hard for this all through practice. We're waiting just for this game to get back at them, so the fact that we won it and got a conference title, and it's senior night and everything, it's just a really good feeling.
Maranatha Christian Academy's girls basketball team is ranked 2nd in the state in Class A. The Mustangs faced a Class 4A school as they traveled to Plymouth to take on Wayzata. The Mustangs take the early lead, a nice pull-up jumper on the run by Lexi Lee. The senior has a big night for MCA. Wayzata executes this inbounds play to perfection as Laura Houts hits Hannah Hiring, cutting the basket, tying the game at 26. But the Mustangs take a lead into halftime. Alina Jarnot steps into the passing lane, gets the steal, and goes all the way for the layup. She scores 21 points in the game, and MCA leads by 10 at the break. Second half, the Mustangs build on that lead. Lee drops in a 3, and Maranatha is up 58-43, but the Trojans battle all the way back, and they take the lead on this basket by Sydney Hayden. Annie Robertson gets the assist. Back and forth the game goes. Lee will steal the inbounds pass, and she sets up Ashley Lewis for 2. The Mustangs lead 89-84. Houts with a great save of the ball, and she'll get it to Liz Wadis off to Hiring for 2, and Wayzata trails by just 1. And Wadis, the senior guard, nails 2 free throws with 0.2 of a second to play to give Wayzata a thrilling come-from-behind win over MCA. 90-89 is the final.
And that brings us now to playoff time in girls basketball.
Yeah, a number of local teams have had good seasons and will look for playoff runs. In Section 5-4A, Centennial is the top seed, followed by Osseo and Maple Grove. Champlain Park is the 5th seed. Wayzata is 6th and Cooper 8th. In the quarterfinals Wednesday, Cooper is at Centennial. Champlain Park is at Mounds View. Wayzata faces Maple Grove at Osseo Junior High, and Irondale is at Osseo. Hopkins is the top seed in Section 6-4A, followed by Minnetonka and Eden Prairie. Edina is 4th, followed by Armstrong, South, Southwest, and St. Louis Park. The quarterfinals are Tuesday in this section. Hopkins hosts St. Louis Park. Armstrong is at Edina and Eden Prairie, and Minnetonka hosts games. Defending state 3A champ Park Center is the top seed in Section 3 with De La Salle 2nd. Then it's Como Park, Fridley, and Titino Grace. Park Center hosts Johnson, and Grace is at Fridley on Wednesday.
In Section 4A, Maranatha is the #1 seed with Minneapolis North second, Heritage is fourth, and West Lutheran sixth. Second round games are Thursday at high seeds, and quarterfinals are on Saturday. Also, Benilde is the #2 seed in Section 6 of Class 3A.
And Providence gets a #2 seed in the South subsection of 5AA. Straight ahead on Sports Jam, John Jacobson takes a look at the long prep career of the leader of the Hopkins girls basketball team. Stay with us. Later this month, the top-ranked Hopkins girls basketball team hopes to bring home the program's 6th state championship trophy. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, John Jacobson introduces us to a Royals senior who has a chance for a 4th first-place medal.
Most elite athletes possess an inner drive that pushes them to succeed. It's part of the mental makeup of Hopkins girls basketball player Titi Starks.
I love to win. I don't like losing, so I do whatever I can to stay away from that.
She's been competitive like that since day one, and she brings to a practice each and every day an intensity level that is great for our kids, especially our younger kids.
Titi, whose given name is Tier, became a starter at Hopkins as an 8th grader, and last month moved into 3rd place on the school's all-time scoring list. Stark switched from point guard to power forward this season, and it hasn't affected her play. She averages 13.5 points a game, second on the team, and leads the Royals in rebounds.
I think I've been playing like a veteran player, like a leader, and I think it's going to end well.
She's the ultimate player in terms of she's got a tremendous work ethic and very high basketball IQ. She's a warrior. She just gets after it. She's not afraid of anything or anyone.
I feel like in the game of basketball, you have to play hard, but you also have to play smart. You know, you have to know when is a good time to foul, when is a good time to take a shot, when is a good time to, you know, pass, to kick, you know, things like that. So I think you have to balance those when you're playing.
Titi also serves as a role model to the Royals' younger players, showing them how to play what she calls the Hopkins way.
She always pushes herself to get better each and every day. She doesn't settle for anything. She's never satisfied with herself. Her defense, I love her defense. I always try to mimic her on defense.
It's that play on defense that drives Titi as a player.
I definitely take a lot of pride on defense. I don't like to have my player score. I don't like for someone to get a rebound over me or something like that. That upsets me. So I try to do whatever I can, work as hard as I can on defense.
But Titi's road to the final weeks of her prep career have not been without a few bumps along the way. She missed much of her sophomore season with bone bruises in her knee. Sat on the sideline the first 9 games of her junior year with a shoulder injury. Sitting and watching, not much fun.
I think it made me more mentally strong, that, you know, I can overcome this, I can come back, and I can play, you know, at my full potential.
In November, Titi made her college choice official. She's taking her basketball talents to the Big 12 Conference in Iowa State.
Their campus is beautiful. They have a really nice campus, and you know, even after the injuries that I've had, I felt like the coaches were really committed to me going there, and I thought that was really genuine. And I really liked the fact that they had that and they, you know, expressed that to me.
The state championship games in girls basketball are set for March 21st. A title for Hopkins would make Titi a 4-time state champion, and none would be sweeter.
To be a part of the past 3, it was something special. But this year, it's like, you know, we don't have Nia Coffee anymore. We have myself, we have Nia, we have Ryan, we have Ashley. And to have us do it for ourselves, it would mean a lot more.
Now, Titi tells us she has had an interest in science since she was a child and plans on studying forensics and criminology at Iowa State. Jay talks playoff basketball next with 12 sports analyst Ryan Iversen.
Welcome back to Sports Gem, and we are in the heart of playoff basketball time. Boys and now girls getting started as well. And Ryan Iversen, our 12 sports basketball analyst for games, joins us. And Ryan, let's start with the boys in Section 6. They are down to the finals now. It's going to be a rematch, Hopkins and Eden Prairie. although it was not easy, especially for Eden Prairie, to get past Armstrong in that semifinal.
Well, anytime you look at the start of section basketball, you want the top 2 seeds to get there, and they've earned that throughout the year. But I thought Hopkins with that number 3 seed, the Minnetonka, I thought that would be an interesting game. Unfortunately for the Skippers, they lost the first round matchup. And then Eden Prairie squeaks by Armstrong in a very thrilling basketball game. So you got the top 2 seeds again. They're very familiar with each other. Really kind of 2 very different styles too, Jay, where you have Eden Prairie that plays 9, 10 guys. They're all very balanced. No one's going to be higher than 15 points, but they may have 4 or 5 guys in double figures. And Hopkins is so athletic. They're not quite as deep, but they're just very skilled, and they have such a pedigree of winning.
And that one's Wednesday night at Cooper in Section 5, 4A. They're to the semis. You've got Champlain Park Centennial, which everyone expects Champlain Park probably to come through. They've had a great season. The other one should be very interesting, Wayzata versus Maple Grove.
I think that's going to be a great game. I know Maple Grove is the higher seed, had a little bit better year, but we did a game with Wayzata on Channel 12 this year. Wayzata is extremely good, and they're tall. They got great size. Maple Grove, as we've talked about throughout the year, Brad Davison really is the key. And I look at when you have a great player who's a point guard, is other teams, what do they try to take away from Brad? You know, he's become a really good shooter, but I think his best skill set, which he's a quarterback in football as well, is setting everyone else up, getting into the lane, and he makes such good decisions. And we saw Champlain Park, Maple Grove early in the year. That came down to the wire, and I thought Champlain did a really nice job of taking him out of the basketball game in the second half. And so I think if he's able to control the basketball, control the pace, get to where he wants to do, and if he can score 20 points but have 10 to 12 assists, I think they're good enough, Jay, to really give Champlain a run if they make it to the finals this year.
And switching to girls basketball play, just getting started this week, and in Section 5 of 4A, you got Centennial as the top seed, but a lot of teams kind of in that same area. Osseo, number 2, Maple Grove's number 3, Champlain Park's in at number 5. I think any of those teams do have a chance to win the section as well.
Well, I've talked to a number of those coaches after the seeding meeting that was this Saturday, and really they thought any 1 through 5 could win that section if they play well. And that's the key. If you play your best, is it good enough to beat someone else? And I look at Centennial's proven that they had a great year last year. This year down a little bit, but still managed to get the 1 seed. Their best may be better than anyone else's best. But you got Champlain Park, Moundsview, which is a great 4-5 matchup. And then you have Maple Grove and you have Osseo down at the 2 and the 3 seed down there. And those two obviously know each other really well.
In Section 3, Class 3A, Park Center, defending state champ. We saw them Friday night. What do you think of their odds to do it again, or at least win their section?
I'll tell you what, they beat a really good Maple Grove team, and they had a lot to play for on Friday. That was to be co-conference champions, only their second time in school history in the Northwest Suburban. So hats off to them. I just love their guard and big mix that they have. They can play inside and out. They're deep, they're quick, they can shoot the ball, even though they didn't shoot it well Friday night. I think they're poised to make another run at it in that class. Playing all year long in the Northwest Suburban too does nothing but prepare you for, great competition. It's going to come down to, I think, them versus De La Salle.
All right, Ryan, thanks so much for joining us. Should be a great couple weeks, and we'll see you out there at the courts.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, we'll be back to wrap up Sports Gem after this. First, our plays of the week.
Our game of the week is the Section 5 4A Boys Basketball Championship. Champlain Park Centennial winner takes on Maple Grove or Wayzata for the title. You can watch the game from Rogers High School live Friday night at 7 on Channel 12 and at 12.tv. That'll do it for this week's show.
And thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. State swimming and section boys and girls basketball. We'll see you then.